I think we're starting to, and I think, but yes, I do get frustrated. I think we all get frustrated because we all come to these conferences because we want to see change. We want to see change now, and that's not often how change comes about. I think part of what we're seeing, though, is that over the course of the last 4 years, we have had success in terms of securing placeholders in UNFCCC negotiating language, for what that's worth. And I think it's, but I think it's very important that there are at least those placeholders there. The tricky part now is actually seeing how they translate on the ground. And so we're entering into a phase, and this isn't even specific to gender. I think this is on climate finance and other key issues. We're at the stage at which we need to see how implementation is actually going to play out. And that's the key to it all, because it's not just what's on the paper, obviously.
Remind people who might be watching this at home and might think, oh, what on earth is the connection between gender and climate change? Remind us what, in as simple layman's terms as you can, what is the crucial connection between gender and climate change?
Absolutely, and I should have started there. I mean, there are really two linkages, and first and foremost, it's that women are uniquely positioned to be key agents of change when it comes to responding to climate change. Women are often the heads of their household. They're in charge of resource and energy management. And so when the women have tools to make climate smart choices, it can make a huge difference. Each little choice can make a huge difference. The other piece of that is that when it comes to climate change impacts, women are disproportionately and adversely affected and impacted by climate change when compared to men.
And what difference will it practically make to have gender recognised more in the UNFCCC process and the text? Because, you know, as we can see here in Doha, they're moving pretty slowly as it is. They've got 7 negotiating tracks. You know, hopefully things will be agreed at the end of this conference. But in a sense, are there other more practical measures that you can follow? What's the motivation behind trying to get this recognised?
Well, I mean, I think a big part of it is that we're missing out on a huge body of potential from women in terms of women as innovators of climate smart and renewable energy. We're also 50% of the population. So why don't we see more women as negotiators, as policymakers, contributing to the process? So what we're really talking about is the effectiveness and efficiency of implementation, and we see women as an integral part of that. Women need to be part of the solution.
And there's a big focus on gender tomorrow, or it might be today if someone's watching on Tuesday. What do you hope that will achieve?
Sure, so tomorrow is the UNFCCC Gender Day. That's Tuesday the 27th. And it's exciting to be able to bring lots of a broad scope and diversity of expertise together and have some, what we hope will be challenging and progressive dialogue. So tomorrow, several of us, the Global Gender Climate Alliance, in collaboration with Gender CC, the Women Environment and Development Organization, and LIFE, will co-convene an event in which we really want to talk about innovation. So we want to talk about gender and climate innovation and what are the breakthrough changes we need to take this dialogue to the next level. So we have been talking about this for a long time, and we've been saying some of the same things for a while. We've also, in parallel, learned a lot of lessons. So let's share some of those experiences and see how we can leverage those to make a difference moving forward in terms of gender equitable climate policy and project.
What lessons do you think you've learned?
Some of which is the efficiency and the impact that projects can have when women are included in the process. That means included in the project development and the implementation and the monitoring of. And we've been working at the national level, many of our members are working at the national level to see what that really means and to start setting up guidelines and systems so that governments or implementing agencies know where to start and know how to address gender in a way that's meaningful and that will enhance and strengthen their projects.
And I guess the final point, for the past 3 years, the 2 leading members of this conference have been women, going back to Mexico, South Africa, obviously not here, but you've got Connie Hedegaard too, who played a big role in Copenhagen. Are you disappointed that despite that leadership and despite those positions of power, more has not been achieved in those last few years?
Certainly we were hoping for more. But I also think that we're seeing a lot more women leaders coming forward and prioritizing climate change as something that these women leaders want to take charge of and make a difference within. So I'm encouraged by the meetings of the Troika Plus that have been took place in Durban and are carrying through now, and I think that leadership is going to and has already made quite a difference in terms of where we are now.